Well, I was going to say, if you have to say something, I don't want to cut you off. I just want to get to Girls Trip too, because I know everyone is like going crazy over Girls Trip.
Yes, apparently. Totally. Let's get to Girls Trip.
I would like to start this conversation by saying, I feel like, maybe I've been very negative in the past several months, talking about the end of Housewives and, it's just played out and, one day this will end just like the real world ended. And I think I need to check myself and put myself into a corner and say, maybe I had it all wrong. Maybe the brilliant mind of Andy Cohen and the powers that be are going to figure this out for the next 30 years, because I am here. I am awake. I am in love. I am in love. I am just in love.
I am so happy to hear your love for the Housewives restored. It's beautiful. Wait, give us your thoughts. I'm so interested in, how you've made this mighty change of heart.
I mean, listen, if someone doesn't like it, I want to know why. Feel free to disagree. I feel, and I really need to slow down and look at the timing of everything, because I feel that this was green lit and the idea came as New York was going down the toilet. That's what I feel. I didn't not like New York. I liked New York, but as the ratings were plummeting, I just think this is tied to that of wait a second, we got it. You people don't want anything serious. You don't want any real topics, no race, no politics, no religion, no anything. We got it. We want old school nostalgia. So it's part nostalgia and part we got it. We're going to do the light edit and we're going to have fun. And so to me, it feels like this is what Housewives started as. It wasn't these Twitter wars and this real disgust of your child is not your own, and Monique and Candace and now we have all these. This to me is just we're gonna fight and have drama, but it's gonna be so light and fun, which we can do in an edit. I mean, even the song Housewives on the Island, even the theme song, it's well, I mean, everyone has their theme song and it's all the same, but it's a different variation. They're no, we're not even going to do it, because they could have done a variation on the traditional theme song. They're no, we're going to bring in this, I'm Housewives on this theme song is going down in history as one of the classics. It's such a good theme song and it's just nostalgia, man.
Well, I think what's fun about it is this nostalgia with these iconic women, but I do find that the backdrop of Turks and Caicos, this new Jamaican theme song, it's like a fresh margarita, an artisan handcrafted margarita. It's just extremely refreshing and delightful.
Well, and I'll just add to that metaphor with it. I think they chose the finest ingredients to go into this margarita. They chose the best personalities, the most extreme personalities, maybe. And that they just knew it would mix well. So yes, I am also loving it.
I agree with all of that. And I think it'll be interesting to see, so next season, I mean, I don't know if now they're going to call it Girls Trip something else, or if it's going to be, I heard they were going to call it Ex-Wives Club or something like that. But I just wonder where we go from there. Are we going to stick with the ex-wives or are we going to do the wives? Because I mean, they're two different things, and the possibilities are endless, just endless.
I want it all personally. I would love to have, the people who were fired. I would love to see them on a show, because there's going to be, what's interesting is we're watching mostly current cast members on this show, people who think they're going to be returning.
Yeah.
And so none of them are going to shit talk Bravo. Right. None of them are really going to talk badly about production, but I would love to see women who completely have written off ever being cast again really talk about what it was like and break the fourth wall.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, with that, you have Jill Zarin, who is, a thirsty bitch who spent the past decade of her life with no goals other than getting back on Housewives. So there's nothing to lose. How do
you really feel, David?
Right. Let me tell you how I really feel. I mean, and then you have a Vicky who really wasn't over her firing. And so it's you have nothing to lose. It's so look, that could be really fake now. Like everyone's trying for the camera time, but it could also just be like, I mean, I'm fired. I don't got no salary. Right. And I guarantee you, because I mean, the rumor is they were paid $200,000 to go on girls trip. This one, I bet you the second group got paid like way less. I'm sure. I mean, like, Jill Zarin, do you want to do this for $0? I mean, you could be on TV under the Housewives. We're going to pay you $0. I think her bags would be packed. So I'm not sure they even got the same type of like compensation or anything like that.
Here's one thing I'm curious about. I'm curious if these women, or if Bravo, like, did Bravo officially sanction this in terms like, or are these women just going completely rogue and just doing this special? Like, I'm just kind of curious if like Bravo is pissed that now their stars are going on another network and revealing secrets.
No, because it's Peacock and it's related, so it's all NBC. And no, they definitely sanction this for sure.
Oh, okay. So Peacock is like a subsidiary.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
So it's like all in the family. So that's the thing. It's like, even if these ex-wives trash Bravo, which they won't probably, I mean, it will be edited, but I don't even think they would on the show. I think they're just like, Bravo's the one that got us here.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is something that's just an offshoot. It's like a spin-off show, and on the same network, essentially, just straight to a different streaming platform.
Yes.
I think this is Bravo literally like in a tailspin, trying to figure out a new recipe. Here I go again with this metaphor, but to just try to shake up all the franchises.
I agree.
Interesting.
I agree. I think it's like, Salt Lake may not be the highest rated, but it's new and fresh. And I mean, the OC has potential too, to now have a blockbuster season. I think they're just like, we need to do something, because it's all, I mean, Vanderpump Rules, hello, it is like this mic on. Like, I think they're just like, Shah's was fine last season, not the highest rated. New York, I just think they're like, we need to do something. Yeah. But that's also why it's great to me, because like, it's so interesting to see these people that so well in like, just like, I mean, just interact with each other. Like, you just don't know how that would go. Like, who would have thought like, Kenya and Luann was the friendship that we all needed in life.
One of the things that I think is amazing about it too is Chandler and I don't watch Atlanta, and we don't watch New Jersey. And so we haven't seen any of it really.
I've seen a little bit of early New Jersey. I used to watch it.
Okay.
FYI.
How many seasons have you seen in New Jersey?
Like, I watched the first few, like Caroline Manzo was like kind of my heyday.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I think, I think what basically these kind of new shows are really good entryways into other franchises, because for me it's very daunting to consider watching a new franchise, especially one that's not like, if it's a new one that's starting to air and I can watch with everyone else, that's fine. But going back and watching 14 seasons of Atlanta or New Jersey, it's just kind of exhausting to think about. And I think what's cool about these, like this show, is that now I'm like, okay, I actually I need to know everything there is to know about Cynthia. I'm like obsessed with Cynthia. I'm so excited to watch Atlanta and get to know these other women, because I'm like falling in love with, a select part of their cast. And so I think it's like a good kind of gateway drug to the other franchises you might not have gotten into yet.
Interesting. Well, I do have some bad news for you. Cynthia's not on Atlanta next season.
I know. I read that. And that's why I kind of said that it was women who assumed that they would be continuing. Exactly. I was so sad to read that. Yeah.
I mean, I also have a theory about that too, that she kind of knew. And I think this was like a last ditch effort. No shade to Cynthia, because I fucking love her. I just think this is out of character a little bit for Cynthia. Like, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
Well, Cynthia's the last person in a way that certainly me, but I think a lot of people thought would just not be happy go lucky. Like, Cynthia's very chill.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So wait, she's very chill, you're saying. So she's not the one that would nitpick every little thing.
Not
which is what
really.
This feels like. Don't you think? Like, she's getting offended at the most like bizarre and tiny of slights.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like Cynthia. I mean, I am most shocked by Cynthia's behavior out of everyone's behavior. Not good or bad, just out of character. Like, I'm shocked. More so than any of the others, honestly.
Okay, well, I am dying to get your thoughts on Miss Ramona Singer's performance, because if we are going to have a cast of all-stars